Hello everyone, Sheila back again. I'm knitting my weekend things. I finished the two hats I was doing for Dagry. Oh, I'll show those. I finished the two hats, done the one for Dagry. I put the pom-pom on, so that one's all finished. And then I had a little one for a granddaughter, just a little ribbed 2x2 ribbed one with a little pom-pom on top. So I got those two finished, and I'll be able to pack up there's three little sweaters that I have that she wanted from my Etsy shop, and the edge jacket. So I'll be sending those off on Monday. If you're watching Dagry, you'll be getting a parcel soon. So anyway, I was just sitting doing a little bit of my things I have to do for the weekend. But earlier on today, I decided this is the pattern I'll be doing for Dagry on Monday, which I'll be starting on Monday. And I thought I'll do a little swatch for this just to get it ready for Monday. So I've done a little swatch here, and I'm going to tell you one or two little things I'm really annoyed about this pattern. This is the wool that Dagry sent to me, and it's Barocco Comfort double knit, and the instructions for the knitting gauges on the back say to use either 425mm needles or 375mm needles. It depends whichever you use to get the gauge. With 425mm needles, you would get 22 stitches and 32 rows to 4 inches. Or if you're using the 375, you would get 24 stitches and 34 rows. Now, we in the UK do not have 425mm needles. So I thought I'd done the little swatch, but I'd done it with 4mm. You can see I've got a line across the middle. I've done so much with 4mm needles and the 375 to see which was the best. So that was what I did, and I worked out that the 4mm needle was 6 stitches. I need 6 stitches to the inch. Not bothered about the rows because I just knit to whatever size I'm doing. Just keep knitting until you get to whatever length you want. And the top bit was a 375, and that was about 6¼ stitches to the inch. That's how I worked that one out. So I checked the pattern to check the stitches and the sizes and everything, and for the gauge. Now this is where it's very confusing. It has the gauge is 20 stitches equals 4 inches. That means 5 stitches to the inch. Now when I knit 5 stitches to the inch, that is an aran thickness on 5mm needles. So I'm looking at the actual pattern, and it tells you, don't know whether you can see, but this is actually knitted in, it's called Barocco Mia. That's what they've actually done the pattern to. But the actual pattern was knitted, the picture they're showing you on there was knitted in a Barocco latitude, which is discontinued. So I looked up the Mia, and that actually was what the gauge they gave us, 20 stitches to 4 inches. Well, I'm got a double knitting here that's got more stitches to the inch, and then I'm looking at the sizes. The sizes are, they come from 32 to 52. They go 32, 36, 40, 44, 48, 52. Well, I have to do 46 for Dagry. So there's a 44 or a 48. So a 44 would probably be a bit tight, so I think we have to be 48. And then I'm looking at the instructions, and to do the size I would have to have 139 stitches, which is around about 6¼ There's about 6 stitches to the inch is about 130 stitches to get the back to measure 23, which is half of the 46. But this pattern, after you've done the rib, you decrease on that side, you take away 18 stitches. You decrease 18 stitches across the row. So you're only going to be left with 121 stitches. Now that just does not seem right to me. 121, I mean, that's going to make it a lot narrower around the body. And then you do, the pattern itself has a, I'll show you the pattern on the back somewhere. Here. Now you can see that's the shape of the body. I'm trying to get it in the right light so you can see, and you can see it goes in under the bust level here. It tapers in and back out again. So where that tapers in and out, I have to decrease until there's only 115 stitches, and then you taper back out again until you get 121 stitches. But 121 stitches is just not wide enough for the size. I think I'm going to forget about this pattern. I'm just going to work this out for myself because this pattern is just not right. And it even tells you to use 3.75 needles. So if I'm using 3.75 needles on this yarn, I'm going to have a lot more stitches to the inch to what this pattern says. And this pattern's got me around the twist. I am just forgetting this pattern. So if you're watching this diagram, I'll do more or less the same thing, but I'm going to work it out for myself. I'm not using this pattern because I don't think it's going to fit when I get it finished. The yarn is different. The yarn, both of the yarn that the pattern is knitted in, according to the instructions, I looked the wool up, the discontinued wool, which is the latitude. I looked that one up, and that one said to use a 5mm needle on that yarn as well. So it's just bamboozling. There's something not right with this pattern. So that's my little rant for that away. I'm doing my little bit knitting here, and where have I got the stitches? Doing what I can on this, and we have a nice sunny day today, and I think it's rather warm, but you know, my house, since I put these double glazing windows in, we do not get the same kind of heat when the sun shines. It does not shine through the windows into the house. Before, we had the single glass. When the sun shone on the window, the heat used to come into the house. But it doesn't now. I've opened the windows thinking might let some heat in, but it's such a nice sunny day, and I wouldn't think I would need my heating on in the house, but it is quite cold. I think I'm going to have to put it on. And that's really annoying, it's double glazing is good when you haven't got the sun shining, but when the sun's shining, because the whole front of my house used to be lovely and warm when the sun was shining, because the heat used to come through the glass, but it doesn't come through now. So that's another rant as well I'm on about. But I haven't got much more. I've just got this sleeve to do and the other sleeve, and when I finish this, if I get it finished, I am going to do my own cardigan that I started months ago. We get it done and get it finished, and I'm going to make myself some lunch now. This is my little bit for today, so I'll catch up with you all another time. So bye for now. Thumbs up and subscribe.